There we go. What is going on, everybody? It is your observant lineman, Uche Nwaneri. My goodness, we are live from the void, ladies and gentlemen, the void. Because, goodness, moving in the city of Atlanta, in the Atlanta area, is just, it's a literal life's work. It's not the easiest thing in the world. You try to plan for it, plans generally don't work. And thus, that has been the issue that I've had thus far, buying a home and then having to wait an extended period of time to be able to move into it. So now I'm in limbo. Now I am in the great void. The great void. I had to, this is so crazy because I stayed a week in a Airbnb, and from there I was told that we would have to wait I guess like a 30-day period to be able to actually like set foot in the house. So Airbnbs are a pretty penny when you book for an extended time. So then that caused a pivot to have to now get I got a little 2-bedroom, nothing apartment in Atlanta. And it's an arm and a leg a month, and they forced me to do a 3-month contract when I only wanted 1 month. So, out of pocket an extra, like, I don't know, shit. 2, 4, 6 plus 2, $8,000 just to like be able to get into my crib. So, really do appreciate you guys, man, because look, I hadn't really been on, I wasn't on it all last week. Tried to kind of keep the flow, keep little things going here and there with the shorts. And let me know if you can hear me, because I have no idea how the sound situation is right now. No idea. I got this loud ass AC unit. So, I don't even know if you guys can hear me over that, but we're going to try and, we're going to hang out tonight, guys. We're going to hang out a little bit. Not going to be too long, but just kind of wanted to give you guys just kind of a update on the adventure, because in a, literally with an entire house in storage, an entire house of things in storage, and also, being in an apartment where I literally, only thing I have in this mug right now is my computer, which is why you guys are seeing me. That was my first priority, actually, was to get my computer out of storage, bring it over here, set it up, fuck a bed, at least for tonight, got some sheets, pillows, and that's how we gonna do it. I'm gonna do it old school style from when I was a little kid. Gonna lay my ass down on the floor, at least for tonight, because my body is so sore. And it's I just kind of I'm in a holding pattern until I can get the fuck up out of here. So, my first priority above everything was to get my ass back on and get back in on my live streams so I could talk with you guys. And, we could get back into the flow of things, because, YouTube is a funny thing. It's a funny place. You got to be able to continually upload and to be able to get, views, to be able to get recommended. I noticed it literally. I noticed 1 week off, 1 week. And when I dropped a video or a short, man, I'm looking at that thing all day, and it's just like 150, 152, 151, 155. The view counts through the basement, you know, through the basement. I mean, and look, you know, when you're not uploading consistently, where you have a little break, that's, you know, apparently, you know, it kind of kills it. I see somebody in the chat over here talking about it. I don't even, like, I'm still trying to get myself organized as is, just like sitting here with you guys. But yeah, I see Kev B says, here to lend support. YouTubers say a break kills how the site recommends your vids. Yeah, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate all you guys who are in here, because really, you know, aside from the moving situation, which I'm not really tripping on that. I mean, you know, I can, you know, I mean, I really just had to pay for a condo that I have to hold for 2 more months than I really want, obviously, but I don't care. You know, my biggest priority was getting back on here with you guys, so that we could get back into the flow, so that we could, you know, get back to the grind, because I like the grind. I love the grind, and having you guys be a part of it is it makes it worth it. It makes it worth it. Even if I only got fucking 10 people in here, you know, that's fun for me. I get to talk freely. I get to be, you know, be myself. And so, with all that being said, I know there's a preseason game on right now. We got the Patriots and let me see. We got the Patriots and the Washington football team, and then we got the Eagles and the Steelers. And you know, hey, Joe Flacco, fly Eagles fly. He's dropping some dimes out there right now. That was nice. We saw what, a 79-yard touchdown pass, 79-yard touchdown pass to. What's his name? Quez Watkins. So that was huge. That was huge for, you know, first preseason game. And you know, this is the thing, and this is, and I take a lot from what you guys. You know, I put out a post on the channel community page, asking you guys what you wanted to see, what things you wanted to hear from me as far as the channel goes. And a lot of you guys had some really great feedback, and I really appreciate that. And a lot of it was things that I kind of expected to hear, because I felt like, you know, that's kind of where I want to kind of move with the channel. And I'll go through here in a second and look at some of the comments you guys made to kind of highlight, you know, you guys being proactive and speaking back to me and giving me info, because I do post a lot on, well, I won't say I post a lot on the community page, but I try to post on the community page whenever I feel like, you know, I want to get a quick response from you guys. Because, I mean, you know, I tweet things out a lot, but at the same time, I feel like if I put something on my community page, you guys will get it quick, and it'll notify you if you've got that notification bell tapped. And you guys have done a pretty good job of giving me feedback. So what I'm gonna do, because really we're talking here, but I'm not, you know, I don't really have anything lined up to really talk about. So we'll just go through and talk about whatever, go ahead and talk about whatever. But let me pull this up, kind of highlight some of you guys, because y'all had some good feedback. Let me see here. So, you know, I asked you guys, give me your feedback. You know, I want input. What do you want to see from my channel? And one of the first things that I really noticed is that you guys are really into football stories, like my stories from the NFL, which, hey, I've got a million stories from the NFL. It's just always hard to think of specific ones until a topic comes up where instantly, a memory of a story will come into my head because it fits the situation that we're talking about. So definitely will continue to do that. And I was just about to talk a little bit about the preseason, but I wanted to kind of go through this a little bit more first. And let me go down here because I know some of you guys had come immediately, and we'll start here with Garrett Heikemer. Apologize if I'm saying that wrong. Says, big man, glad you asked. I really want to see what these young athletes do with NFTs. Basically, NFTs are like, and this was actually in response to me asking about NFTs, because I'm very interested in this NFT thing, because I have plenty of photographs, action photos, that are look like the actual photos, physical photos that I'd like to scan, or maybe have somebody in the community who is good who's good with digital art, maybe convert a photo into some digital art, and make that into an NFT. I don't really know exactly how NFTs work, but this was an answer to a question I had actually about NFTs. That basically NFTs are like letting a fan own a moment in time. Imagine Jordan selling an NFT of his rookie year in college. It'll be worth tens of thousands. Young men need to say F-Tops cards. They need to sell their moments. And that's what I kind of want to do. That's something that I want to try and, go through that process and maybe do a live stream where I reveal an NFT that I've made, because I have some pictures of some pretty, well-known players that I've played against where you see me dominating them. And I want to share that with everybody and let y'all have that piece of my career. You know what I mean? I think that'd be pretty cool. But obviously you got people who say, hey, we want collabs with other YouTubers, and I think I'm going to get back into that as well. I think I'm going to start hitting up Urinating Tree again. I've been sparsely in contact with those guys. They've been on a roll over there. They've got momentum. And I love it when I'm on Dumpster Fire with those guys, when I'm playing Among Us with those guys. Great community over there with Urinating Tree, with 5 Points Vids. That's good sports. You see they're starting to get love from Pat McAfee. So definitely going to start reaching out to those guys here soon to try and get, once I get all this stuff handled and got, in the house, then I'm going to start reaching out to those guys, and I'm going to start really pushing doing some collabs with them, live stream collabs, and we'll see where that goes. Also former players, former teammates. I kind of pulled back on doing that so much just because it can sometimes be hit or miss. I told you guys about my Warren Sapp story. Warren Sapp literally shat on me for even asking to have him on my show just because I'm an offensive lineman. So, when that happened, I kind of was like, you know what, I'm gonna run this ship my way. I'm not gonna be going into a begging mode. I'm not begging nobody to be on my live stream. I'm not gonna do it. And that was one cat that I thought about really like, hey man, come on, like what's the deal? But I pulled back a little bit from that. But what's funny is that timing and opportunity is always those are two things that always present themselves at just the right time. So for me, one thing and one individual who I actually have low-key really wanted to collab with and link together with gave me a call, literally 2 weeks ago. So the Thursday or Friday before I started the move, gave me a call out of nowhere He was doing some business with some people that I've done business with, and he wanted to, he wanted me to kind of give my perspective on how they did for me, how they worked for me. And we talked. We ended up being on the phone for an hour together. He has a YouTube channel that I've shown you guys before, that is literally like should be one of the top sports YouTube channels on YouTube. I'm not shitting you. These guys have had amazing guests, unbelievable guests, but they just have not gotten the traction at all. Like, I'm talking about at all. And he called me out of the blue. We had a long conversation, and he wants to do collaboration soon. So that's going to be coming up. That's going to be something that is going to, I think, really jettison this channel, into the next, kind of stratosphere as far as growth. Takeo Spikes reached out to me. I'm sure he wouldn't be upset with me mentioning his name, because that's how much he agreed with my perspective on, hey, what we should do to, work with each other. This guy had Megatron on his channel. This guy has had all of them. He's had almost 80% of the top tier NFL players over the past 5 years. He's had them on his channel. So now, having somebody like that, Takeo Spikes, who also played a very long time in the NFL, having somebody like that join with my channel, where we cross collab with each other's YouTube channels, and which also brings those talents into the room for live stream interviews and things of that nature. Now you've got the ball rolling, and it's becoming a snowball, or it's becoming a huge snowball, and that's what I want, and that's what is going to be happening in the near future. You guys are going to love it. Just keep supporting, keep showing support for the channel. You'll see this thing grow and grow and grow. I promise you. Keep sharing it, keep spreading it out there, because the more you guys do that, obviously, the more that the more exposure there's going to be for my channel. I can't tell you how many people have been like, man, this channel, people who just found my channel, who leave messages on videos and say, man, this channel should already be halfway to 1 million as far as subs. And I'm like, yeah, I know I got good content. I know I got good content. All that's needed is the right opportunity and the right timing, and then boom, we got it. So even on top of that, and there's another actual former player who I've already reached out to and I've already talked to, and he's already agreed to come on and do a live stream. Ryan Clark from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I had some Jaguars fans who were jabbing at me for defending what he said about the Jaguars just a few days ago. People who were pissed at me because I was like, hey, and I said it totally in the most lighthearted way possible when they jumped on him about his thoughts on the Jaguars in this coming season. And I put a tweet out that was purely, me being sarcastic, joking, and it wasn't really a serious comment. It was me just kind of fucking around. And Jags fans got pissed. They got super pissed. And I didn't care, because it's like, yo, if y'all really that thin-skinned about what somebody says about a training camp practice play, not even like the practice, one play. I kind of was like, hey, I apologize as a former Jag. I apologize for their outbursts because they were going hard on him, but he wasn't saying anything that was really like, he wasn't saying anything that wasn't true. When that video of Trevor Lawrence making a really good pass in a 2-minute drill, when that was all over the NFL's Twitter account last week and all over the Jaguars' Twitter account last week, he had something to say about it. Honestly, he didn't say anything that offended me, but when they were like, well, who the hell is Ryan Clark? I'm like, okay, now he's going to pull his trump card, because You know exactly who the fuck he is. He's a cat who's won Super Bowls. He has more Super Bowls on his shelf than the Jaguars organization does, period. You know what I mean? Like, why would you set yourself up to be literally dunked on, tomahawk dunked on the way that all the Jags fans were when he quote tweeted that person who said, "Who the hell is Ryan Clark?" I mean, it got like 3,000, 4,000 likes because it was like, yeah, that's pretty much an easy alley-oop because the Jags ain't got no Super Bowls. And the Jag fans are getting hyped up about a fucking 2-minute drill, non-padded pass that was thrown to an open receiver who still had to dive to get the ball. What exactly is the fucking, like, this means that the franchise has changed somehow now? Like, this means that everything is going to be hunky-dory because he made that pass? No, it means nothing. It means literally nothing. It means he's throwing the ball. He made a good throw, which is fine. You can praise that all you want. But then to get mad because somebody points out that it's really a pointless thing to get too hyped up over because, one, he didn't have no rush. He just rolled out on a play action. And two, there was no pads. This was not physical contact. They're not allowed to touch him. What are you getting so hyped for? And, I really thought that was, I thought that makes Jags fans look bad when they take it to that extreme. And that's why there are a lot of teams, fan bases in the NFL that do not like the Jags fans because Jags fans get hella arrogant, hella conceited when they have glimpses of success. I saw it in 2007 after we went to the playoffs. I saw it in 2017 after we went to the playoffs. Both times in the next following years, the franchise collapsed repeatedly. The same exact way in 2007 and then in 2017. The franchise collapsed after they had success because what happened throughout the entire sphere of Jacksonville? What happened? Coaches got arrogant. GMs got arrogant. Everybody thought they had solved the great mystery of success in football. They got overconfident. They thought they knew more than they really did. They acted like they were untouchable, and the very next season, they were crushed. I witnessed it with my own eyes. I was there. There's a reason why you will never hear someone mention Gene Smith's name in Jacksonville. The utter verbalizing his name, it literally is like Voldemort from Harry Potter. You don't say his name in Jacksonville because of what he did to that franchise. Well, guess what? I was there watching it happen over 4 years. I watched him destroy an entire franchise because he thought he knew the game of football more than he did. Have you? This guy was a high school principal before he became a scout for the Jaguars. He don't know shit about football. But you get a playoff team, you get a playoff appearance, you got a solid roster. ESPN picks you to win the Super Bowl in 2008, and now untouchable. Everybody felt like it was untouchable. As the players, we felt good because we knew practices weren't going to be as hard because of that. But, we still got a job to do. This ain't, anything can happen in the NFL. Anything can happen. So, seeing that happen and then watching 2008, 2009, 2010, and then just watching the entire franchise collapse, watching it all come down, it was ugly. It was ugly. And then from there, you fast forward 10 years, the literal 10-year mark from 2007, we're in the AFC Championship game. We end up losing to the Patriots. Everybody knows how that game went. Miles Jack was not down. But, the very next season, You know, the very next season, new uniforms. Coughlin just completely went fucking insane. Front office, once again, full of arrogance, full of conceit, fully conceited, and just completely out of their minds delusional that they feel like they can't be touched. The fan base was the same way. The fan base was the same way. And what happened? Won that first game against the Patriots. And I mean, that just made the Jaguar, the metaphorical Jaguar head just explode with arrogance. And then these cats went on a 6-game losing streak. And it got worse every week. I watched it on TV. I watched it though. So, you know, having witnessed the exact history replay itself in almost the exact fashion, watching it happen again over 4 years after 2017, watching that entire crumble like a cookie. There's nothing to really stand up and be over here yelling that the Jags are back, because the Jags ain't done nothing. We ain't done nothing. Point blank, period. So for everybody on Twitter who tried to talk to me as if I'm the bum, as if, nobody remembers but we barely remember you. Motherfucker, you're here responding to me. You know who I am. You know who I am. If you ain't barely know who I was, you would have shut the fuck up long time ago. But anyways, I digress. So, from there, like I said, you guys love to hear stories. I will continue giving you stories as much as I can. But also from there, my O-line breakdowns, those are coming back. Do not for a second think that I'm not bringing the O-line breakdowns back. Those are coming back, and they're going to come back in a big way. I promise you, week 1, I'm going to put a poll out. Heading into the last week of the preseason so that you guys can pick what team you want me to do an O-line breakdown of for heading into the first week of the season. So it would be me looking at probably the second or third preseason game, because that's when your starters are going to have the most action. It's going to be me looking at the second or third preseason game, and I'll do a 3-play breakdown on a few offensive lines. What I did last year was a lot of work. That shit was hard, and it was laborious, however the fuck you say it. And doing one of those videos, literally, y'all don't even get it, because I was using a telecaption software as well from a company that was that actually linked up with me and wanted me to use their product in my videos. So I was using the telestration software to actually break down the play on the offensive line, running backs, not like every position per se, but I gave you the concept of the play and how it worked. And then I gave you, I broke down the technique and skill sets of all the linemen and what they did on that play. And I gave them a plus or a minus. And, usually I would show what defense they were going up against, what front they were going up against. And, just break it down as the play progresses. But I would do 5 plays on offense, or 5 plays in the first half, 5 plays in the second half. I mean, we're talking about just 10 plays. That took me literally 10, 11 hours to do that. Because, I have to actually use 3 different softwares. One software to, just letting y'all know, one software to rip it from the NFL site, from NFL Game Pass. And then another software and then after I rip it from the Game Pass site, then I got to cut them up, and then I have to put them, and then I got to import them into the telestration software, And then I have to go through each play, and like I go through each play like slow motion, not slow motion, but I go through each play over and over to make sure that everything is lined up as far as the graphics from the telestration, as far as the timing for when the telestration disappears so you can see the play. It took a long time, very intense work. And there was, there was one week, I forget who it was, but there was one week I literally did not finish with the video until like 9 in the morning. And I was so focused on getting that video uploaded because it was a huge game that week. I can't remember who it was. Who was it? Damn. Anyways, I literally just barely got it out the door before pregame started. And I just went and passed out, because I was up the whole night doing it. So very intensive stuff. But I will kind of condense that so I can do more of them quicker without having to, go through an entire game and pull 3 plays. But that will be, the trench warfare will be returning to start the NFL season. And again, it'll be up to you guys who I do the video on. I'll put out some teams there, let you guys vote on it. Whatever team wins, that's who I will be doing the breakdown on. So again, keep that notification bell tapped so that you know when I drop that. But those will be coming back. I'm excited to get back into those. I think that that's going to be something that definitely is going to be good for the channel as well. Let's see. So, a lot of you guys on here said, get some former players on here, and that's coming. Again, here's breaking down the film right here, Broadway Realtors. Ooh, Broadway Realtors, Broadway Property Management. The thing that brought me to your channel was breaking down game film, explaining how things went bad. More of that, as well as showing the success of teamwork. Picking up each other to make plays work would be appreciated. Yeah, and that's usually that kind of thing. It takes a you go through the flow of a game, and you'll usually see those moments in teams that come back and win, teams that where offensive lines maybe struggle in the first half, and then take off in the second half, get their act together, get to move in the line of scrimmage. Those are things that now you don't really pick a single play and say this was the play, but you start to see just a shift in momentum like you always see in football. So that's where you see something that happens like that. We got another comment here. Keep letting us know what it's really like to play in the NFL, from the mundane till the unimaginable. Fun. Yeah, like I said, whenever a story comes into my head based on a topic that we're speaking about at the time, that's when you usually will see me, boom, come in and actually give you guys, these stories that kind of come improvised, because there's so many of them in my head. There's so many. I can't just pick one, because I'll start thinking, hey, is this really going to be a funny story or not? But you guys know how that goes. Let's see here. I like to see football analysis when the season starts. Also, this doesn't have to do with your channel, but to promote it, I want to see you on Sports Wars channel a lot more often, especially since you're part of the Geeks and Gamers team. They have a former NFL player on their team, and you barely appear on their sports channel. Come on, man. I want to hear perspective on there from someone who used to play the game. I like to hear different opinions, even if I don't agree with everything. And every time you do a video on Sports Wars, you can promote your channel. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that. See, this is the thing with Sports Wars. This is why you don't see a lot of content from me on Sports Wars, really much at all, is because Sports Wars doesn't take the same angle at content as I would like in regards to actual sports news. This is where I have a little bit of an issue with doing videos on that on Sports Wars. Not because I love those guys. They're doing a hell of a job. The channel's grown to almost 100,000 subs, but they're doing that by shitting on athletes. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do videos shitting on athletes and turning everything into a woke versus unwoke type thing. I'm not doing that. That's not my style. You want perspective, you want realism, you want entertainment. I provide that in a different way. Now, if there's a egregious situation where I got to point out that this certain thing or these certain players are being ridiculous, I'll do that. But I can do that on my channel. You know what I mean? And I will, and again, I love Ryan, Jeremy. I love what they're doing. That works for Sports Wars. It really does. But from how I picture things and how I want to cover sports in an entertaining way, that to me, it's counterproductive. I can't do that. I can't fake. I'm not even saying that they're faking. It would be fake for me to rant about woke stuff, to be angry about woke stuff, because I don't give a fuck about woke stuff. I really, honestly, do not care about it. It is not interesting to me, and it is not really, I just don't see that as something that I could be genuine with. I can't be genuine with that kind of stuff because it's not my style. So, I always keep. Look, I know when they're doing videos, I keep up with everything that's going on that channel because I'm in that channel. Technically, I'm in it. But if they want me to come on for a live stream, I'll be there in a heartbeat because I know in a live stream we're gonna talk. I can actually bring levity to what they're talking about. I can actually bring levity to what they're talking about from a true athlete's perspective. So I've been on a number of live streams with them. Those, for me, I fit more with those, and I can do those more. And I will do those more when they do live streams. I'll reach out to Jeremy and I'll ask him, hey, let me jump on with y'all on the live stream this time, because they jump on with John Matrix. John Matrix is a very well-mannered, very deliberate, reporter on woke sports. And I'm not, I watch both their channels. I watch Sports Wars and I watch Black and White Sports. And I comment a lot on Black and White Sports because it's the one thing for me that kind of tripped me out about what they were doing was y'all motherfuckers are over here shitting all over these Olympic athletes when they were losing, and we all kind of were. I was when it was Nigeria beating Team USA because that should have never happened. But it shows you that teams outside of the U.S. are getting a lot better at competing with the U.S. They're getting more talent. They're able to actually absorb the concepts and actually be competitive against the U.S. We hadn't seen that before. So, of course, this was spun into, it's because they're woke. When I watch these channels videos, I'm like, imagine that a professional athlete is out on a basketball court, on a soccer pitch, actually playing in a sport that they have mastered throughout their lives. Imagine that they would play worse because they're thinking about something woke. That makes no sense at all. It's not real. That's a bullshit narrative. You think the women's soccer team lost because they're woke? That doesn't make sense. They're professionals. Get the fuck out of here. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. And that's because when people say that type of dumb shit, and then there are people who in the comment section are just like, yeah, this is that. Stop. Listen to a professional athlete tell you that we ain't thinking about nothing that y'all talking about on your channels or your videos when we're on the field doing our work. We don't think about a goddamn thing that y'all are talking about, except for what we're doing in our craft. That's it. So, with that being said, I find it ludicrous that they call themselves a news channel because you're not really giving news. You're just taking an opportunity to play the gotcha game and talk and be mad about shit that really is not real. That's not how motherfuckers are thinking. Like, it's not. It's truly not. I can understand if you hate LeBron James. I don't like LeBron James. He's not as smart as he likes to portray himself to be. He's really not. But I'm not gonna make videos to slam the dude unless he does something that's really stupid. How many times are you gonna talk about LeBron in China? Like, who gives a fuck? You're watching him. Who cares? Like, to me, those things are counter to what you're supposed to be doing as an entertainer in the sports realm. If you're a content creator, I look at black and white. I look at 5-point videos. 5-point videos, pure entertainment, knowledgeable across a number of different sports. Urinating Tree, same thing. That's Good Sports, same thing. Tom Grassi, same thing. These guys are knowledgeable, but they're entertaining. And if there's something that's controversial, they'll talk about it, but they don't lean into just one narrow niche of just woo, 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 woke. That shit is old. That shit is tired as fuck to me. It might get a lot of clicks, and I ain't mad at that. Get your money. But I can't play that game. So I'm not gonna try to play in a game that I'm not good at. I'm not good at doing that. I'll laugh at myself for trying to do it. Maybe that means they have and look, do you think that fucking John Matrix and Ryan Kennel and Jerry, you think those guys are truly just that stuck on it? No, they know they're entertaining, which more power to them. More power to them on that. I ain't entertaining like that. That's just not my style. I love those guys, and I'll be on the stream in a heartbeat to argue with them over those kind of things. But I'm not like really interested in going down and talking about shit and calling it woke. Because what the fuck does woke mean? Woke don't even mean nothing no more. It's just a word. It's a word, and then people get mad. That's it. What does woke mean? Can't nobody even really say this is woke. Come on. Anything that you have a propensity to argue against is woke. So, like, what's the point of even like trying to decipher these things anymore? But those channels are doing great, and I have no beef with them, and I love them. I'm part of Geeks and Gamers. I'm like, it's not even a thought that it's like me, I'm hating on them or I want to hate on them. I don't. I see them doing well, and that's good. My channel will take longer to get there, but it will get there. I promise you. And it will get there with things that will carry me for years on it. Because I'll have those professional athletes on my channel. I'll have, opportunities to do streams with those big YouTube channels in sports. I've had them early on, which helped give my channel a boost very early on when I first started a year and a half ago. So things will continue to move along, whether it's at a slow pace or a fast one is irrelevant. It's just keep it moving, keep it growing, and that's what my focus will be on. That's my perspective on the bigger picture of that. But let's look more here at what guys were talking about. Now here was something that I actually thought was a really good, some really good feedback that I've been thinking about this. I haven't really come to any conclusion because, again, it really comes down to finding a sweet spot. But this comment here was one that I really thought was a very this spoke to me because I am a nerd at my heart. I'm a nerd, and I love geek shit. And this comment was definitely anyone in the sports world that you can talk to would be awesome. Also things you really enjoy, comics, games, movies, food. I think you are someone who can definitely expand your topics and not just cover one thing all the time. I disagree with you from time to time, but you have a good discussion no matter what, and even get me to lax up a bit in my stance. And that's coming from Mike Beats Dix. And whoa. I just realized that. Anyways, I thought this was really interesting because I did mix it up a little bit earlier in the year, right around the Snyder Cut time, when the Snyder Cut came out on HBO Max after we did the stream with Zack Snyder. And, you know, even with all the drama that came and the fallout from that, I still don't regret doing that stream at all. I loved doing that stream. You know, so I'm fortunate that it went left with perceptions and egos and all that shit, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. And I thought about, you know, and for maybe about a good month, I kind of was in that mode where I was doing different topics, different genres, but still coming back to sports stuff. And I think that is something that I've thought about, and that's part of why I created the Ath Geek channel, which I think I might end up changing the name of it at some point, because I want it to have my name in it, even though it's a different channel. I want to kind of put my name in there. But you know, I did do some live streams on the DCEU, which I did live streams with a number of very well-known DCEU YouTube channels, comic book YouTube channels. So, you know, that's something that, again, I can look into, and I may bring that kind of format, you know, maybe for the weekends. That might be something I bring in for the weekends. But again, I have another channel, the Ath Geek. That's got about 4,000 subs, and I ain't done a video on there in like 2 weeks. So, you know, so maybe I start pumping that channel as well. So, you know, if there are guys in here who are like myself and they're geeks and they're nerds and they love all kinds of pop culture and comic books and movies, then, you know, I'll have that second channel where I'll start, you know, ramping up on, you know, one thing that I really think I'm going to start doing on that channel. I think I'm going to start reacting on my second channel to Rick and Morty, because that's my favorite TV show on the entire TV, Rick and Morty. So, you know, the last episode, the bird person episode, that was freaking amazing. So I think I might go in and start from season 1 and start doing reactions to every single episode of Rick and Morty, because I can watch every single episode of Rick and Morty from season 1 to season 5 and not be bored with it. I love that show. So that might be, you know, I will find a balance in there. My ADD kind of throws me off sometimes, and I kind of like can't figure out which one I should do videos on at what time. But, you know, when I kind of find my center, you know, maybe I can set a schedule up where I do my live streams, and then on off days, I drop videos on my second channel. So make sure you guys go check that channel out if you get an opportunity, the Ath Geek. But yeah, that's something that you know, is also a possibility as the channel moves forward. So we will actually see very soon, you know, which way we can roll with those things. And then, you know, finally here we got someone, I feel like if you could, reaching out to old teammates about the state of the NFL or whatever news is happening around the league will be interesting. Doesn't even have to be big name guys, just people with different perspectives. You know, Eben Britton. Eben Britton was my teammate in Jacksonville for 4 years. I love him like a brother. Eben Britton, me and him have had, when I first started Lineman Life, the stream, it was with Eben. Him, and, you know, I did like a test run with him. And me and him, you know, we really did bounce well off each other. I need to get back in touch with Eben, because now he's doing a lot of things on a spiritual Zen side on Instagram And he was the co-host with Mike Tyson on Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson for the first season or two, which was huge podcast, huge live stream, and getting back with Eben and maybe bringing Eben back in and talking with him on maybe once a week, have him come on and me and him talk about stuff. He has such an awesome perspective on life, on energy, everything. So he's somebody who definitely will be getting him back into it as well. But yeah, man, I feel like that is that's really I think this channel will begin to evolve and have more layers to it. And I think, again, with the way my mind gets scatterbrained sometimes, I can sometimes get a little overwhelmed, not gonna lie. But I think that having it evolve, has been something that I tried to kind of force initially, and now I'm just kind of letting it organically get there. And like I said, guys like Takeo Spikes are hitting me up and calling me to do some collabs, to start working together. That means that now, there's an opportunity here to help it evolve even further, to take the channel into wider spaces and get it more exposure that way as well. So those are definitely things that I'm going to be doing as we move forward here. So you can expect to see this channel become a much more fleshed out channel in way of that, and having more faces in here. But you'll also see me giving you what I do best. So I think those will be two things that'll really give us something to play with there. Something to play with. What are you guys talking about in here? Hockey. Check out the Hockey Guy. Unbiased takes and game analysis. Okay. New weekly show. This week's best pancakes. Yeah. Could be that too. And whenever, I will absolutely, you will see me do short videos on vicious blocks by offensive linemen. That might be the next little wave that I run with for shorts, is I'll probably snatch up a video of an offensive lineman blocking the hell out of somebody and put it up as a short. And, you guys can pass that around the internet, see if we can get something to go viral. It's definitely good. That's definitely good info to get. There you go. Series on finding the best diner. Okay. We got some diners out here in Atlanta. We got some diners out here. We got some good ones too. Oh. 5 Points pushes Manscaped ads way too much. He needs a new sponsor. Hey, Mark Brennan, what's up, brother? 5 Points. Hey, man, I don't know how much Manscaped is paying, but shit, if they paying some good money like that, I would be pushing them too. Shoot. I'm pretty sure they push some good. They probably put some good money out there for him doing that stuff. So definitely, it's definitely, take what you can get, right? Take what you can get. What else we got here? Let's check in on this NFL preseason. Now, I thought this was a nice play for these Eagles who are missing a lot right now. Trying to find a new identity. Got Joe Flacco in.
No one's going to catch him. 79 yards for the touchdown.
Kez Watkins balling out. Flacco balling out. Good way to start it off.
Don't have an event.
That's good stuff right there. Let's see what's going on. How about this Field of Dreams game? This Field of Dreams game. I need somebody to explain this shit to me, because I never watched Field of Dreams. Never seen it. I've seen it, but I've never seen it. I've seen the "if you build it, They will come. I know those. I know that. But they actually played in the actual stadium where the movie was filmed. Is that right? Wow, I had a way to take a terrible picture after some really good ones. Whoever was using that camera, because that's dope right there. I think that's beautiful. That's a beautiful shot right there. Even if it is like the inbound post or the out of bounds post, foul ball post. I mean, I guess you know what? I think that's another thing that I might do as well. I might do sports movies. Start doing some sports movies and reviewing them, because I never seen Field of Dreams. I never seen Field of Dreams. Never have. But that is an attractive looking like setting in the middle of a farm. Wow, look at this. Yankees and the White Sox. I mean, is it the Yankees? Yeah, it's the Yankees and the White Sox, right? Are they wearing like throwback uniforms? I mean, what is, oh, that's dope. Look at this, all farm field back here. That's dope. That is dope. The sky in Iowa is like it was painted by God. Just makes the "is this heaven? No, it's Iowa" line completely legitimate. So amazing. I mean, what are you guys' opinions on this? We got any big baseball fans in here? Like that, this looks like a crazy shot right here. I mean, these pictures just ain't good though. Whose low resolution shit is this? Okay, what is this? Is this, I mean, I know Kevin Costner was in this. Is this Kevin Costner? Oh, this is live too. Oh, it is Kevin Costner. So they really are walking out the corn stalks onto the field. They really playing it like it's the movie. Okay, so I know it was the Yankees, but I can't really, is it the Red Sox is it Boston that they're playing against? Really can't tell. I just saw Sox. I didn't really see any indicator of what the team was. Mac Jones throwing darts. Yeah, I saw that. I think I saw this one. These are the things. I mean, this was a nice throw. This was a nice throw here. But, I mean, you got to think about this for a second. Because when I look at this, I think to myself, oh, well, against a better defense, that's an interception. I mean, I'm talking about a better drop by this linebacker, 47, which he was kind of stuck in a spot. He was in no man's land. That's probably what this running back's route was for, was to catch him, was to hold him. But, I mean, if you have if there is a high caliber backer playing in that space, there's a chance that he can break on that. There's a chance, but that's a good throw. Mac Jones, good little start. Good show. Good show right there. Hold up. Somebody say he should be start over Cam. Oh, he will be. Cam Newton's starting days are pretty much over as a quarterback. He'll start to begin the season. He will, but it's over. I think, unless he does something miraculous, which there's no indication that he will. Don't even know that he has the weapons to even get to that point around him. He is a stopgap right now until Mac Jones is ready to take the helm. So I wouldn't expect. Oh, okay. Hold on now. Wouldn't expect Cam Newton to be the guy. Wouldn't expect that. Let me see. Haskins getting some love. Dwayne Haskins. Okay. Now, this cat right here, this is a guy who I have, ooh, that was terrible as fuck. What the hell? That's good pocket awareness. What is this? What is 17 doing? Ugh. I don't know. I want to root for Dwayne Haskins. I want to root for this guy because, I mean, okay, there you go. I want to root for this guy because he was immature in Washington. He was immature. He had the wrong people around him. He had the wrong priorities, but he still has the talent to be a great quarterback. So I want to see him mature, and I want to see him play the game and love the game and play it hard, play the game at the highest level he can, so I can see whether or not he truly has the potential or whether he will realize the potential to be a great quarterback. He can be. He can be. He just has to take the game serious. And, you know, I think this was the end of a 79-yard drive. I think that was. And then, okay, let's look at his stats. The guy's stats, I mean, 11 for 12, 92 yards, a TD, 126.4 quarterback rating, QBR. I mean, that's what you want out of a first-round quarterback. That's what you want. That's what you want. So we're seeing flashes. Is it preseason? Yeah, but 11 for 12 for 92 yards is nothing to scoff at. That's some high marks in the regular season. High marks in the regular season. So, you know, I want to see that guy do well. I want to see that. I want to see him be a leader so that he can be passed the torch if he stays in Pittsburgh. He has opportunity. He has an opportunity in front of him. So, you know, we'll see how that plays out. We'll see how it plays out. I just, you know, Washington just was not the spot for him to be at. At the time that he got drafted there, it was not a good time to be there. And he was not, you know, he didn't have the mentality to really take advantage of the opportunity that was in front of him. And, you know, Ron Rivera, he saw that in a heartbeat and was like, get him out of here now. It was like, get him out of here. And, you know, I think he'll end up being one of those guys where it just I think he'll end up, when you look back at his time in Washington, you'll look back and you'll say he was just one of those guys who was not a good fit for Washington. He was a young player who was immature, and he just needed some time to mature, and he needed to be put into a program where he could get a fresh start and actually find himself back at square one to rededicate himself and play ball, and he'll be fine. And I think that Pittsburgh is a good place to do that, you know, unless your name's Antonio Brown. So, you know, he has a great opportunity in front of him. Now, this one right here, this one is a hard one. This one's a hard one. And right here, this is a little clip from the Texans training camp. I mean, we all know Deshaun Watson going through some things, but he's not even really participating in training camp. So it's like, what is Houston really doing here? Are they going to get rid of this cat or what? Because, I mean, there's got to be teams knocking on the door with multiple first-round picks for this guy. Are they just asking for too much, or are we really going to get a chance to see a blockbuster trade go down where somebody gets Deshaun Watson? So, you know, here we go with this clip where he's clearly over the entire thing. He's over it, and he lets everybody know. He said, why y'all always filming me every day? It's the same shit. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. Dude's not going and he's not doing nothing. And he's not doing nothing and it's a wrap. Look at the look on his face. It's a wrap. He's done. And he got, this whole situation. I mean, look, I'm not even going to tear this guy down. I'm just going to say, good luck, Deshaun Watson. I hope that you learn from this at the very least. And, at the most, I hope that you do not go to jail. So we'll see how it plays out with him. But I don't know why reporters are really keeping up with all this. I don't know why they're waiting on him to say something that they ain't already heard. So they really do kind of need to move on until something substantial happens, because there's not really anything to talk about until there's something to talk about. Not really anything to talk about until there's something to talk about. So, anyways, let's check back in with preseason football and see what's going on now. Ooh. Chase Young. Oh yeah. Oh. Let's look at this. Y'all want a breakdown on a play? All right, I'll give y'all a breakdown on a play. Look at this left tackle who is a look. This is oh man. I will say this about the state of the offensive line in football, because in my opinion, the state of the offensive line has gotten worse consistently over the last 4 years. Now, let's look at number 76, who's at the bottom of the screen at the left tackle position. You see his right arm where he's giving presence right here to this right guard? You don't need that. Why? Because this guy was Defensive Rookie of the Year. You are on your own, guard. You're on your own. I'm not even looking. I don't even give a damn what they do. I'm not helping you, because this is the guy that I need to be blocking the entire time I'm out here, and I'm not paying attention to anyone else. Now, with that being said, if you're looking at his feet and his set, first I would say your head should be facing the guy you're about to block. Everybody knows it's a pass. This is still the Patriots. You're not running the ball here. Y'all don't even have a tight end in. Or you do, but he's offset. He's in a slot. No, I'm not helping the guard. And I would even be as so much to be like, hey, tight end, right here, you need to chip him on your way into your route. Get something on him to slow him down just a tad bit so that I can be ready to take on him as soon as he comes off of that chip. But if we're looking at the play and we're looking at it unfold, I think that that's too far with his first kick, because look at how his knee his right leg almost straightens right here. That means he's going to have a wide base, a really wide base, which means you have no balance, which means it will only take one move to get your feet to stop, because you don't have balance and you have to reset both of your feet so that they're under you. He is too extended already, which isn't the reason why he gets beat. But the move that beats him, it will cause him to stop his feet. It's not why he got beat, but he will be beat because his feet will have to stop in order for him to get balance. But he is on a good track right here. He's on a good track. Get your hand off that guard. Fuck that defensive tackle. Who cares? Don't even attempt to help him. And the guard should know that. So it shouldn't be no surprise to the guard that he ain't getting no help because you got bigger fish to fry. Now, right here, look at his legs. He's standing up. He is standing up. That is the absolute worst thing to do when you're going against an edge rusher is to stand up almost vertical, and now look at this. His hip is open. His toe is pointed to the sideline instead of being pointed at the defender up the field. So, what does this mean that his hip is open right here? His hip is open. That means that he can just take a straight line through it without any resistance. There will be no resistance. The revolution will be televised. There will be no resistance here. With this open hip, his chest is now turning towards the sideline. These are all bad techniques. These are things that you don't do, and these are things that you won't see the Pro Bowl offensive tackles. You'll see this. This is something that they'll rarely do. Tyron Smith, watch him when he pass sets. He rarely opens his hip before he makes contact. Opening your hip is almost a death sentence for an offensive lineman, especially a left tackle, especially when you're going up against a skilled pass rusher. And that's what's about to happen to this cat. So, even with that, I look at this, and yes, I'm looking at it in a frame-by-frame look, but even with that, look, this is completely out of whack. Look at your feet should never be like this at tackle before you've made contact. He's just making contact. But look, look at the right tackle at the top of the screen. Even him, look at, like, what is this? Why are you kicking so far back? That is not that's not good technique. You're stacking your legs, which makes you narrow, which makes you easy to push. But even him, he sees this guy, he draws a line right here, and he gets his hands up, he squares his body, and he stops penetration. Even though his punch kind of collapses on itself, he gets himself in a good position, and really, and this is a mess up by the defense. This is a mental error for these two guys. This is a mental error. They will be graded with a mental error here because never do two defensive players end up in the same gap unless somebody fucked up. That's just not how it works. But this guy's responsibility right now as the right tackle is literally to block three people. He has to sit on this guy as long as he possibly can, and late he will try to save the block for these two guys because he's in a bad situation because they messed up. They messed up. And I think it's because it looks to me like this guy is manned up on the running back, but the running back has responsibility for one of these two. So when this guy's coming on really, if he's coming inside, he should be going outside, and he should be floating over the top to cover him in case he scats out late. So here, this is exactly what you want from your tackle. He recognized it was an inside move. He squared his feet. He literally redirected to the line of scrimmage, and he got his hands on the guy before the guy could even actually really do anything. And he nullified that rush. And then the running back picked up who he was supposed to pick up. So you have 2 for 2. And if he can late, this is always a bonus. If he can late, he can ping pong back. And sometimes a good running back who knows blocking, a good running back will react to this. This guy will actually go and block him, and bounce the running back off to block him. That is graduate level blocking. That is PhD level blocking. And that happens every so often, you'll see that from good offensive lines who are in sync with their running backs. They actually understand that if they get overflow, you hold as late as you can on your initial, keep them from penetrating, and then you can, this is called a bounce back. Bounce back to him, and he'll bounce back to whoever the edge guy is over here. But let's go back down to this mess right here. Now understand, I watched this at full speed like twice, and then I got on my live stream, and then I'm back on it now. But I mean, I can look at this entire offensive line, and I can tell you what's going on with every single player and how it works out in real football time. So here, with this right tackle, 76, his whole body is turned to the sideline. Mistake, bad mental error, not even mental error. That's just bad technique. Bad kick, bad awareness in that fuck this guy, just block him. And when we get into his technique, his feet are a mess. Look at how close his feet are right here together. When in his kick slide, that's not good. He opens his hip on his literal, let's see, he got one hella extended. No. Yeah, one, two. Oh my God, no, he didn't. Did he step? 1, 2. Now he's kind of backpedaling. Is that his? Okay. And then on his third kick, his hips are open, and he hasn't even made contact yet. That's terrible. That is not good. I'm not saying he's a terrible player. I'm saying on this play, that is terrible technique. Absolutely terrible. By his third kick step, he has opened his hips and given the defensive end and this is a defensive end who was very good, but not elite. Because looking at what he does here, even as a good a defensive end as he is, he should have stoned him on this play. Stoned him. His chest is wide open, the defensive end. Chest is wide open. His arms are wide. His chest is open. This guy should have literally shotgun blasted him in the chest like a boxer would with a jab and snatched his chest plate and stifled him right there. Sit his hips down and stifle him because he doesn't actually use a pass rush move that is really useful here. He doesn't do anything. He's rushing at you with his chest wide open. He tries to lead into you with his inside arm. That's an automatic karate chop. As soon as he touches you here, you smack it down and you grab him. He literally just ran at you. He didn't even get his right arm on you very cleanly at all. And you have his entire chest. Look at this arm. This arm is wide. This one is wide over here on the top, at the top of his shoulder pad. His entire chest region is open. And you have both hands, you have not even really made contact with your hands yet against him. You should be shotgunning him in the chest at this very moment and then run him up the field. You actually won't even have to run him up the field. If you shotgun blast him in the chest with your two hands, he will widen this way, and then he'll stop and retrace because he's too deep and he can't get to him because he will step up. But what does he do? He literally does nothing. He just completely loses him. And then again, like I said, you're turned to the sideline. You're turned to the sideline. Look at his legs. He has no kick slide. He has no real balance because he's shuffling. He's lateral now. He doesn't have anything to produce power from. Nothing. He has no way to produce any power whatsoever to stop this guy's momentum, and he's not even giving you a pass rush move. He's not even giving you a pass rush move. So, with that being said, a good left tackle will shut this pass rush down in a freaking heartbeat because he did it slow and he did it late. He turned his hips late. Right there, he turns his hips. I mean, even if he turned his hips, a good tackle at this point, because at this point for this tackle, he's beat. He was beat right here. He was beat when he did that. When he opened that hip up, he was beat. But here he goes. He turns his hip. A good tackle will use this arm, put it on that hip, and will, for the sake of, for the livelihood that he hopes to earn, he will run his legs as hard as he can with his hand on that hip to try and spin him out or to push him past, just barely, the quarterback. This is terrible. He has nothing here. There's no way that you'll ever win in the NFL if you're pass protecting like this against anybody. He didn't even use a pass rush move. That's what makes me sick. But you know what, though? I will give 76 this. You goddamn right you better get the ball back. Yeah, he got the ball back on the fumble. He got the ball back on the fumble. That is the best case scenario following what he just gave up. And it's almost like karma. Yeah, you better get the fucking ball back because it's your fault that it was fumbled. So he got it back. But, yeah, this is that's my breakdown on this play. Just a couple of positions, right tackle and left tackle. Broke down what they were doing. Gave you a little bit of information on the running backs and how a good running back will set the way that he did here. And you know, gave you a good little gist of what this, you know, we see this in real time. You see this tweet. And you see this. You know what I mean? You see this. But as somebody who is an offensive lineman, as somebody who's a professional, who's played against some of the best defensive tackles in the NFL the last multiple decades, I can tell you with confidence that what Chase Young did here was not impressive. But it looks impressive because of how poorly this left tackle approached that block and took on that block, and how poorly his technique set him up for failure. Terrible technique makes guys who don't do extraordinary things, like in this play here, makes them look extraordinary. It makes them look like they're that dude. It makes him look like he's that dude. But I'm telling you, put Dwayne Brown on him. This doesn't happen. Put Trent Richardson. I think, is that him? Yeah, Trent Richardson, the cat from San Francisco. Put him on him. It doesn't happen. Because their technique is far better, far superior. So, with all that being said, guys, I think that's going to be it for this Lineman Life Live. Man, I appreciate you guys showing up. You know, again, like I said, it's been a minute. Situation is pure limbo, just the waiting game until this closing period ends. And, you know, till then, I'll be in this void of football solitude, void of content creation solitude. But I will be here creating content daily until then. You know what I mean? So, again, I appreciate all you guys for being in here. Hope everybody has a wonderful night. Make sure you smash that like button if you haven't already done so. Smash that notification bell so you can get notified when I drop community posts and when I put up when I schedule a new stream, and I will definitely be. I might be streaming again tomorrow, but I will definitely be putting up a new video tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. And, we'll go from there. I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about how things are going to move forward with the channel. And I really want you guys to be there with me in all of this. So, let's keep this thing going. But I am your observant lineman, Uche Nwaneri. Appreciate you guys so much for being on here. Everybody have a wonderful night, and I will catch you all on the next live stream. Peace.